Hey Brisbanies, what is up? My name is Jared from Frost Network, and today we're going to be building the Tricera statue from Fortnite. I built the plushie of this yesterday, so if you guys would like to go ahead and check that out, there is a link to it at the end of the video as an end screen annotation, and down in the comment section there will be a link to it as well. Look for a pinned comment by me. I want to thank a couple of people for letting this video happen. There are 4 people on the screen right now saying various things that they want a Tricera statue, so thank you to those people for recommending that. If you guys would like a shout out by me, make sure you guys go ahead and go down in the video, or yeah, go down in the comment section down below, type out a comment recommending what Fortnite character you guys would like me to make next, and if I pick your guys' character, you guys will get a shout out. It's that simple. So this is the Tricera statue right here. I love it. I think it is amazing, and I think you guys think it is amazing too, you know. So make sure you guys hit that subscribe button if you guys are not subscribed already, and ring the bell notification icon so that way you guys will get notifications when more Fortnite videos come out. Make sure you guys drop a like, and I think that's it. Well, actually, if you guys are awesome enough, please share the video as well on Facebook, Twitter, or Reddit, and that will be it. So before we go ahead and get started, I would like to name off the blocks that we're going to go ahead and need. We're going to need black concrete, red wool, red concrete, gray wool, gray concrete, white wool, white terracotta, light gray wool, pink concrete, lime terracotta, yellow concrete, yellow wool, block of quartz, and white concrete. But for right now, what you guys are going to go ahead and need, just for this part right now, the 9 blocks, is black concrete, red wool, red concrete, gray wool, gray concrete, white wool, white terracotta, light gray wool, and pink concrete. You guys are going to need to have a good amount of space out for this, so you guys are going to need what? So it's 8 plus 4, so that's 12, 16, so 8 on 4 on the other side. So yeah, you're going to need at least 16 blocks wide by 4 blocks thick for the total build. So if you guys have other statues, I recommend having a, let's see, do a 20 block gap in between the statues. I think that'll be more than enough. So what you guys are going to want to do is start out with black concrete and go ahead and place a block, and then place 8 of them in a straight line. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Then you want to go ahead and bring this up by 3 blocks high. So you're going to go ahead and put down another layer, and then another layer on top of that. Oops. There we go. So now I have 8 blocks long by 3 blocks high, right there, of just black concrete. Then I want you guys to switch to red wool, placing 2 blocks of red wool, switching to red concrete, placing a block of red concrete, 2 blocks of red wool, 2 blocks of gray wool, and a block of red wool here. I would like you guys to start in this corner, going 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks of gray wool, followed by a red concrete block, 2 red wool, and 1 red concrete. On top of the red concrete, you're going to go ahead and place 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 4 gray wool. Then you guys are going to go ahead above the gray wool, place 1 red concrete, 2 gray wool, 1 red wool. Well, actually, it's all the way down to the end like this, and then red wool, like I meant red concrete on the end right there. Then what I would like you guys to go ahead and do is place 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks of black concrete, placing red concrete, and then 3 red wool. 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool. I want you guys to go ahead and place black concrete 4 blocks long, same as this one down below, placing red concrete here, and then the rest of it will be red wool, so that's 3 red wool. Above this red wool block here on your right, it'll be red concrete, red wool, red concrete, red wool, red concrete, red wool, red concrete, red wool. Above this red wool here, you're going to go place 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool. Like that. Then what you guys want to go ahead and do is take your gray wool, bring this over, and outline the part right here, making it 3D. And then on top of the black concrete, you guys are going to do the same thing right here and here. So if you guys don't have this right here, I'll go ahead and pause the video so that way you guys can stare at it. And if it's easier for you guys to copy it this way, then go ahead and do that now. And we will resume the video in a moment. Okay guys, we are back, and what we're going to go ahead and do is take our black concrete. So if you guys are looking at it from the front, which is this is the front, you're going to go to your left hand side where these two black things are, and you're going to go start on this side here. You're going to need black concrete, making this 4 blocks thick. So if you guys start from this corner to be 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going to bring it up by 3 blocks high, like so. Once you have brought that up to 3 blocks high, it should look like this, so 4 blocks thick by 3 blocks high. In the back here, you're going to place 2 blocks of black concrete, followed by 1 red wool. Then you guys are going to place 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 3 red wool, 3 black concrete, a line of red wool, more black concrete, followed by 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool. Then once you got that, what you guys should do is start right here. Go 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if you guys come at this angle, you guys can see I did not connect it by the corner. There is a 1 block gap in that corner there. So what I would like to do is take a step back here, and if you guys do not have his left hand side, go ahead and pause the video here and resume the video when you guys are ready. Okay guys, we are back, and what I would like you guys to go ahead and do now, this is the left hand side, and I want you guys to go back to the front, just like so, switching to the right hand side, so your right hand side. Now we're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing we did on this other side, basically, so just follow my lead. I want you guys to go ahead and place 3 blocks thick, making this a total of 4 blocks thick by 3 blocks high, so go ahead and bring that to 3 blocks high. In this corner over here, you want to bring 2 blocks right here and 1 red wool, so it should look like this. I would like you guys to take red concrete, then red wool, then red concrete, followed by red wool, red concrete, red wool. Then I want you guys to go red wool, red wool, red concrete, red wool, red wool, red concrete. Then red wool, red concrete, red wool. Then a layer of red wool. Then red wool, red concrete, red wool, and then a layer of red wool. So I'll go ahead and pause the video here so that way you guys can just copy this if this is easier for you guys, and we will be back momentarily. Okay guys, we are back, and we are on the right hand side, as you guys already know that. And I want you guys to go ahead and take your black concrete and go to the back of the build. Go to the back of the build so it should look something like this. What I would like you guys to go ahead and do is bring black concrete, I apologize, 8 blocks thick. So if you start right here, it'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. By 4 blocks high, so bring this black concrete up by 4 blocks. That's 2 for me, 3, and 4. So now I have my black concrete up to 4 blocks high. We're going to be mainly working with red wool and black concrete this part. I would like you guys to start on, if you guys are looking at this way, you're going to start on your left hand side. So this is red concrete. Then we're going to place red wool all the way to the end right here, except for right here, we're going to place red concrete. Now starting from your right, I want you guys to place red wool, red concrete, red concrete, red concrete, red wool, red concrete. Then I want you guys to go ahead and place red wool all the way till you get to this one right here, red concrete it, and then 1 red wool. You guys are going to go ahead and place 1, 2, 3 blocks of black concrete, 1 block of red wool, 1 block of red concrete, 1 block of red wool. Then you guys are going to place red wool, red wool, red wool, red concrete, red wool, red wool. Man, that is becoming a tongue twister. Then you're going to place 3 black concrete, so 1, 2, 3. Then you're going to place 2 red wool and 1 red concrete. I would like you guys to go ahead and place 1, 2, 3 red wool. I apologize, it was 2 red wool, then 1 red concrete, then 1 red wool, then 1 red concrete, then 1 red wool. 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete. Then what I want you guys to do is outline this part here, so with 4 blocks. 1, 2, 3, 4. And if you guys are looking at this angle, you guys can see that it is not connected at the corner, so see how it is not connected like that? You do not want it to look like that. You want it to have that corner gap. See how it is also that way on this side? See the corner gap that's left? I want you guys to make sure you guys have that, and let's go ahead and pause the video in the back right here. So if you guys do not have this part of the video, make sure you guys go ahead and have this. Make sure you guys' measurements at the base are 8 blocks wide by 4 blocks thick by 12 blocks high. Go ahead and count that for me. If you guys do not have those dimensions of the leg, then you have messed up somewhere along the line, and I recommend that you start the video over. If you guys don't have this part, make sure you guys have that, and then we'll go ahead and start the arms next. Okay guys, we are back, and what we're going to go ahead and do is make sure you guys go to the front of the build now. And what I would like you guys to go ahead and do is start on her left, so your left hand side. Place one red or one black concrete, doesn't really matter, followed by one red wool. Delete the black concrete. Next to the red wool, I want you guys to place 2 white terracotta and then another red wool. I want you guys to place 1 red wool here, 1 red wool here, 2 black concrete there, 1 black concrete here, 1 black concrete here, 2 red wool, 2 black concrete, 2 red wool, like this. I want you guys to place a layer of red wool on top of that, followed by 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, red wool, red concrete, 2 red wool, followed by a layer of white, followed by 1 red wool, 2 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete. So this should be 4 blocks thick by 12 blocks long, so make sure you guys have that correct. Now we're going to go on her right hand side, so her right arm or your right. We're going to place 1 red wool, followed by another red wool. Delete the first red wool block, followed by 2 white terracotta and a red wool block. Place a red wool, 2 black concrete, 1 red wool, 1 black concrete, 2 red wool, 1 black concrete, 1 red wool, 2 black concrete, 1 red wool layer, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 2 red concrete, red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, followed by a layer of white wool. Then we're going to go ahead and place 1 red wool, 2 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, red concrete, red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, like that. Sorry, it was a little bit confusing. I got a tongue twister a couple of times, so I apologize. So if this makes it any easier, if you guys would like to pause the video here and resume when you guys are ready, it might be easier just to look. Okay, what I would like you guys to go ahead and do is outline the black concrete on both arms. Then outline the white wool line on both arms. And there you go, so it should look like that. Then what I would like you guys to go ahead and do is place 1 red wool on the left hand side, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool. Then you guys are gonna go ahead and place 1 red. Never mind. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 white wool, 1 red concrete, and 1 red wool, followed by 1 black concrete, 1 red wool, 1 black concrete, a gray wool and a gray concrete, followed by a black concrete, a red wool, and a black concrete. On top of the black concrete, you're going to add another block of black concrete, then red wool, black concrete, gray wool, gray concrete, black concrete, red wool, black concrete. Then you guys are going to place 1 red concrete, a layer of white until you reach the other black concrete, and then you're going to place red wool on top of it. Then you guys are going to place a red concrete, another layer of white wool on top of that white wool, and a red wool, followed by a layer of white wool, a solid layer, making that 4 blocks thick, so bring it up to the white band. Once it's up to the white band, you want to go ahead and switch to light gray wool, white wool, light gray wool, red wool, light gray wool, white wool, light gray wool, red concrete, followed by 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool. So this is what she should look like from the front. So if you guys do not have the front of her, please go ahead and pause the video here and resume when you guys are ready. Hey guys, we are back, and what I would like you guys to go ahead and do is break out your blocks once again, and we're going to go to the back of the build this time. And what I would like you to do is, once you're back here, is we're going to start on, so if you're looking at it this way, we're going to start on your right, so this arm over here, and we're going to go ahead and place 1 red wool off the side of it, delete the first one, place 2 more off that, and a red concrete. We want to place a red wool, a red concrete, a red wool, and a red concrete. Place a line of black, black concrete. Then you want to place 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 2 red concrete, 1 red wool, 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, a line of white wool. Then we want to place 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red wool, a layer of red wool, 3 red wool, and a red concrete. So it should look like that. You want to go ahead and outline the white and the black, like that. Now we're going to start on your left. So if you go to the left arm, you're going to place just a block off, and that is going to be a red wool, followed by a red concrete and 2 red wool, followed by a red concrete and 3 red wool, and a layer of black concrete. And you guys can go ahead and make that stick out by 1 block. Let's see how I have it. There you go. On top of this, you want to place 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, a layer of red wool, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, a layer of red wool, 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, a layer of white wool. You can make that high definition by just making it stick out. 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 2 red wool, a layer of red wool, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool. If I can do this, there we go. So now you should have this. What I want you guys to do is start for the torso and place a layer of red wool, just solid, straight. Then followed by 2 layers of black concrete. It's like midnight black, it makes it so hard to see. You want to start over on your left-hand side, so over on this side, in this corner, placing 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, and then the rest is red wool. On your right, you're going to place 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, a layer of red wool, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete. You're going to place 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool. Actually, it's all red wool after that. Then you want to do a layer of red wool on top of that. Next to the white, you want to place a red concrete, 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, actually it's 2, and then 2 red wool. 1 red concrete, 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, a layer of red wool until you reach the end, which is going to be right here. So it's the 3rd one in, and it'll be red wool. Red concrete, and then 2 red wool, followed by a layer of red wool, and then when you reach the end, it should be a red concrete in the corner, and then it should look just like this. So if this helps anybody, then we can go ahead and pause the video here and resume when you guys are ready, and we will go ahead and do both sides of the arm, and then we're done with the torso and arms. Okay guys, we are back, and we're at the back of the build right here. So if we go to the front of the build, which is right here, this left side, your left side, I want you guys to go ahead and go on that side and start on this side. We're going to work from right to left on this part. We're going to need to place 2 blocks of red wool, like that, just fill it in. 1 red concrete, 1 red wool. Then 2 black concrete, and then place 4 black concrete, so that way it's not in the corners. See, it's not in the corners like this. Then what I would like you guys to go ahead and do is place 2 red wool, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red concrete here, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, layer of red wool, a layer of white wool, followed by 4 white wool, like that. See how it's not in the corners? Then what I would like you guys to go ahead and do is a layer of red wool, 1 red concrete, and 2 or 3 red wool like that. So if I take a step back, this is what you guys should have. I hope this will help some of you guys out. So if you guys don't have this, make sure you guys go ahead and pause here and resume the video, guys, when you guys are ready. Okay guys, I think I gave you guys enough time, so if we go over to the other arm, let's just go ahead and knock that one out now. So now I'm over here on this side, and what I'd like you guys to go ahead and do is just place 2 blocks of red wool, 1 block of red concrete, 1 block of red wool, 2 black concrete, followed by 4 black concrete on the outside. Again, it is not in the corners, as you guys can see, like that. I want you guys to place 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, layer of red wool, another wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, some white wool, and then followed by 4 white wool, 1 red wool, 1 red that was 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, and then 4 red wool, like that. So if you guys do not have this, please go ahead and pause here and resume the video when you guys are ready, and we will go ahead and do the head next. Okay guys, we are back, and we are on the front of the build right here looking at the chest. What I would like you guys to go ahead and do is right here on the left hand side, I would like you guys to go ahead and place 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, and then 2 red wool. I would like you guys to go ahead and place 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, 1 red wool. And then you guys should be left with an 8 block gap, so let's go ahead and count. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 by 2 blocks thick. 1, 2. So if you guys do not have those dimensions inside the head, make sure you guys go ahead and have that. If you don't, you guys mess somewhere up along the line. The total width of this should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. The arm should be 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks thick by 12 blocks high, and they are for me. And your chest should be 8 blocks thick by 12 blocks high, which it is for me. What I would like you guys to go ahead and do is break out your red wool, place right here, starting on the left hand side, place 4 blocks going across, and same thing on this side on the right. Bring it out by 2 blocks here and 2 blocks here. In the back, you're going to bring it out by 2 blocks on both sides and then connect it up. So this should be 8 blocks long, so let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 by 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So it's an 8 by 8 square. What I would like you guys to go ahead and do is, starting in the front, I want you guys to place 1, 2 blocks high of the red wool. Same thing on this side here, so 1, 2. I would like you guys to take your white terracotta and connect it up on the bottom, so this should be 6 blocks used. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The 2 in the middle, I would like you guys to delete and replace with pink concrete like this. Then you're going to take your white terracotta and lay it down, another layer. And then you're going to take white concrete, place 1 in each corner, then replace lime terracotta in each corner, and then white terracotta in between. You guys can go ahead and get rid of your, let's move some of this around. You guys can get rid of your lime terracotta and replace it with colored blocks, or just regular old block, or quartz I meant, and yellow wool. So I would like to keep my whites together, so that just makes it easier when scrolling. What I would like you guys to go ahead and do is, right next to the eye, you're going to place 1 white wool here and here. You're going to go ahead and place 1 layer of red wool here, bringing this up by an extra, let's see, it should be 8 blocks. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8. So it should be 5 blocks thick. Yeah, 5 blocks thick of red wool. Then what you guys are going to go ahead and do is place 1 red wool here and 1 red wool here, followed by 1 white wool, 1 white wool, by 1 red wool, 1 red wool, 1 black wool, or black concrete here and here, followed by black concrete here, white wool lightning strike like that, and then make this white wool three-dimensional and break these two back here. Then it should look like this. I want you guys to go ahead and place red concrete here, red wool, and red wool, followed by red wool, red concrete, red wool. Then right here you're going to place black concrete, red wool here. Then you're just gonna actually, let's leave the white concrete there. I mean white blocks there. You're not gonna see it anyways. Then when you guys are right here, I want you guys to go ahead and place a, what's this? Not white concrete, a block of quartz here and a red wool here, followed by a red wool here, red concrete here, red wool, and a red wool. Now let's do the other side of its face. We're gonna go ahead and place 3 red wool, 2 red concrete, 1 red wool, 1 black concrete, 1 block of quartz, followed by 1 red wool, and 1 red concrete. So it should look just like that in the front. So if you guys do not have this here, I'm going to pause the video here and resume when you guys are ready. Okay guys, we are back, and what we would like to go ahead and do is, if you guys are looking at the front, we're going to go to the right side of the head. And what we're going to do is place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, on the 5th one, we're going to place red concrete and then red wool, red wool. Then we're going to place red wool, red wool, red wool, red wool, red concrete, and 2 red wool. Then 1 red concrete, 1, 2, 3, 4 red wool. Oh, it's actually all 5. Oh, the whole thing. Then 2, then red wool. I meant red concrete. Then 1, 2, 3, 4 red wool. Then it should be actually this one right here. This one right there needs to be moved to here, and this needs to be red wool. And then this one needs to be red concrete, and then red wool until the very end. Then that would be red concrete, and then red wool. And then right here will be red concrete, and then red wool, red wool. Then this should be red concrete, and then red wool all the way to the edge. Like that. Then what you guys should go ahead and do is, starting right here, we're going to go ahead and place 1 block here, 1 block here, 1 block here, 2 blocks here, 2 blocks here, like that. So just leave it there for a second. That's just a marker, and then we'll come back to that. So if you guys do not have what it looks like right here, please go ahead and pause the video here and resume when you guys are ready. Okay guys, we got this side of the head done. We want to go to the other side of the head now. So what I would like to go ahead and do is place 1, 2, 3 of red wool, 1 red concrete, and then the rest is red wool. Okay, that just ruined that. Okay guys, we are back, and we're going to go to the other side of the head, so right over here. What I would like you guys to go ahead and do is place 1, 2, 3 red wool, 1 red concrete, and then 1, 2, 3 red wool. Then I would like you guys to go ahead and place 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, and then a layer of red wool. Then we're going to start over here and go 1, 2, 3, and then on the 4th block red concrete, and then the rest is going to be red wool. Then what I would like to go ahead and do is, actually this one right here is also red concrete, I apologize. Then we're going to go red concrete, then 1, 2, 3 red wool. Right? Yeah, 3 red wool, 1 red concrete. Then we're going to place the rest is red wool. Then we're going to place 1 red concrete. Then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 red wool. Then 1 red wool, 1 red concrete. Then 1, 2, 3. Well, on the 3rd one it's red concrete, and then 1, 2 right there. Then it'll be red wool, red wool, red wool. Actually, the whole thing's red wool. So it should look like that. Then what I would like to go ahead and do is starting right here, we're going to place 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, and then 1, 2. So if you guys do not have this here, please go ahead and pause the video here and resume when you guys are ready. Once you guys have this side of the head done, let's go ahead and go to the back side of the head. And we're going to go ahead and place, breaking right there, we're going to place a red concrete. And then what we're going to go ahead and do is place a red wool and red concrete, and then a layer of red wool, a layer of red concrete, red wool, red concrete, red wool, red wool, red concrete. Then it's going to be red wool, red wool, red wool, red wool, red concrete, red wool. And then right here we're going to place red wool, red concrete, and then the rest is red wool. We're going to place 2 red wool, 1 red concrete, and then the rest is red wool. We're going to place 1 red wool here, and then the rest of this is red concrete. I meant red wool and then red concrete, sorry. We're going to place 1 red wool, 1 red concrete, and then the rest is red wool. On the back side of the head, I want to go ahead and delete each corner, so here, 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 and here should be removed. And that's what the back of the head should look like. So if you guys do not have this here, please go ahead and pause the video here and resume when you guys are ready. Okay guys, so now that we have all that done, we want to go to the top of the head right here. And I want to just go ahead and fill this in with red wool for now, and then when we'll detail it later. Once that's all filled in with red wool, what I would like you guys to go ahead and do is place 1, 2, then 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1, 2, like this. This should be 4 blocks high in the back, so that's 2, 3, 4. This one here should be 3, this one should be 1, this should be 3, this one should be 2 blocks high, so like this. Then what I would like you guys to go ahead and do is break right here, place a red concrete, here's red concrete, here's red concrete, here, here, and here is red concrete. Here is also red concrete, and so is there. So that is where your, oh wait, that's red concrete too. So that's where your red concrete should be. Then you're going to take your black concrete, and you're going to place 1 block off to the side here, 1 block off to the side here, here, and here should be black concrete. Then what I would like you guys to go ahead and do is take your yellow concrete and break and place the yellow concrete here, a yellow concrete here, 1 here, 1 here. Then you guys are going to go ahead and break here and here. And you guys are going to place black concrete like that. Then you guys are going to switch back to your yellow concrete, place 1 here, here, and here, like that. What I would like you guys to do is take your black concrete and place it 4 blocks in total, 1 block high, so like this, like little nubs. That'll be the horns in a minute. So what I would like you guys to go ahead and do is pause the video here, and if you guys don't have all this, make sure you guys go ahead and have that and resume the video when you guys are ready. Okay guys, we are back, and I want you guys to come over to this side. So this is the left, or your left. I want you guys to break this one right here and replace it with red concrete. Place another red wool there and a black concrete coming out. Place a red concrete here. Break here and place red concrete, and then here and here should be red wool. Place a black concrete there. This should be red wool, and then this should be red concrete. You guys are going to place a black concrete here, and you guys are going to go ahead and place a red wool here with a black concrete coming off diagonally like that. So I'm going to give you guys this angle right here, so make sure you guys, if you guys do not have this, please pause the video here and resume when you guys are ready. Now that we have the left side done, we want to go ahead and go over to the right side, so we're going to come over on this side here. We're going to go ahead and break this one and replace it with red concrete. Placing red wool here with a black concrete here. We're going to place another red wool here, a red concrete here and a red wool with a black concrete there. Break here, replace that with red concrete, and this should be red wool, and this should be red wool with a black concrete right here. And then this one in this corner here will be red wool with a black concrete coming off diagonally. So that's what this should look like at this angle. So if you guys do not have this side here, make sure you guys go ahead and have that before we go ahead and resume. Okay guys, we are back, and as you guys can tell, I'm looking at the front of the build right here, and this is the final bit, so we're going to go ahead and do the horns. I want you guys to have out your black concrete. As you guys can see, we have a square right here of 4 pieces. We're going to place 1, 2, 3 like this in this corner here. Then we're going to place 1, 2, then we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, then 1, 2, 3, and then 1. I'm going to show you guys how to do it again with white wool over here, and then I'm going to do it again with black concrete. So again, this is what you guys should have right here. So it should look like 4. You guys are going to place 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 1. So it's kind of hard to tell the difference of what it is because it's so black with the black concrete that it just fuses together, and that's why I used it for her. So I want you guys to go ahead and have your 4 here, then 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, and then 1. And there you guys go. So now this is all done, and this is what your guys' statue should look like when it is all done. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial as much as I enjoyed making it for you. If you guys would like a shout out in the beginning of the video, please leave a comment down below of what character you guys think I should make next, as well as click on the end screen annotation for the plushie version of the Tricera Ops. It's pretty awesome, as you guys can see it right now. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. If you guys are not subscribed already, ring the bell notification icon as well. It really helps me out, and you guys will get notifications when I upload. As well as if you guys want to be super awesome, share this video on Facebook, Twitter, and Reddit. All those 3 really help me out and help my channel grow. And as I just want to thank you guys all once again for tuning in. And bye guys. That's all.